What happens when a sports legend's legacy is forever tainted by scandal? O.J. Simpson rose to fame as a record-breaking NFL star, a Hollywood actor, and a cultural icon. But his triumphs on the field were soon overshadowed by one of the most infamous murder trials in history. Accused of killing his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ron Goldman, his dramatic courtroom battle divided the nation and left an enduring mark on American society. But beyond the headlines, who was the real O.J. Simpson? From his troubled personal life to his shocking downfall, we uncover the untold stories, family revelations, and final moments of a man whose life was defined by both greatness and controversy. With exclusive insights and never-before-heard details, this in-depth look at Simpson's rise, fall, and final years will leave no stone unturned. Stay with us as we explore the legacy of one of the most polarizing figures of our time. Orenthal James O.J. Simpson was born on July 9, 1947, in San Francisco, California. His early childhood was marked by significant health challenges, the most severe of which was rickets, a disease caused by a deficiency in vitamin D, calcium, or phosphate, leading to weak, soft bones. This condition left Simpson with bowed legs, requiring him to wear heavy metal leg braces for several years to correct the deformity. During this time, he endured teasing from peers and a restricted childhood, as his physical limitations prevented him from running and playing like other children. Simpson's struggle with rickets ultimately shaped his early years, but what he did not realize at the time was that these difficulties would pale in comparison to the legal battles and controversies that would later define his life. Simpson was the son of Eunice Simpson, a hospital administrator, and Jimmy Lee Simpson, a man who worked a variety of jobs, including as an employee of the Federal Reserve Bank. His father was a charismatic yet distant figure, and his mother, though loving, struggled to support the family financially. The Simpson household was a place of complex relationships and emotional challenges, which deeply influenced O.J.'s outlook on life. The Potrero Hill housing projects, where Simpson was raised, were notorious for poverty, crime, and gang violence. Life in this environment was harsh and unforgiving, with many young men turning to street gangs and petty crime as a means of survival. Simpson was no exception. By his early teenage years, he had joined the Persian Warriors, a local gang, and quickly became involved in street fights, theft, and other delinquent activities. These affiliations led to multiple run-ins with the law, and at one point, he was sent to a juvenile detention center after being caught in a gang-related incident. Simpson's father, Jimmy Lee, later came out as gay, which added another layer of complexity to his family dynamic. Although San Francisco was becoming a more accepting place for the LGBTQ+ community, homophobia was still prevalent in many circles, and Jimmy Lee's revelation created tensions within the family. He eventually became a prominent figure in San Francisco's drag scene, but his relationship with O.J. remained distant and strained. In 1986, Jimmy Lee passed away from complications related to AIDS, an event that was kept relatively private at the time, but later became public knowledge. Despite his growing involvement in gang culture, Simpson's life took a pivotal turn when he met Willie Mays, the legendary Major League Baseball player. The meeting was brief but life-altering. Mays, recognizing Simpson's natural athletic ability, urged him to reconsider the destructive path he was on. He emphasized that Simpson had the potential to achieve greatness through sports rather than falling into the cycle of violence and incarceration that claimed so many young men in Potrero Hill. This conversation had a profound impact on Simpson. For the first time, he seriously considered the idea that football could be his way out of poverty and crime. Determined to change his life, he decided to channel his energy into sports and joined the football team at Galileo High School in San Francisco. Simpson's transition from troublemaker to athlete was not immediate. He initially struggled with discipline, focus, and academics, as he had never been a dedicated student. His grades were poor, and he often butted heads with teachers and coaches who tried to instill structure in his life. However, once he stepped onto the football field, it was clear that Simpson had an extraordinary gift. At Galileo High School, Simpson played for the Galileo Lions, where he honed his skills as a running back. Despite his natural talent, his first few seasons were unremarkable, largely due to his inconsistent commitment and ongoing struggles balancing academics and sports. However, by his senior year, he had emerged as a standout player, attracting the attention of college scouts who saw glimpses of his explosive speed, agility, and ability to break tackles. Although Simpson had great potential as an athlete, his poor academic record meant that major universities were hesitant to recruit him. With limited options, he decided to stay close to home and enrolled at City College of San Francisco, CCSF, in 1965. His decision was also influenced by the Vietnam War. After a close friend suffered a life-altering injury in combat, Simpson became increasingly reluctant to leave California. At CCSF, Simpson's football career truly began to take off. He played as both an offensive and defensive player, excelling in the roles of running back and defensive back. His performances were dominant, and he quickly gained a reputation as one of the most dynamic players in junior college football. His natural athleticism, combined with hard work and discipline, earned him recognition as a junior college All-American, a prestigious honor that put him on the radar of major college football programs. In 1967, after 2 stellar seasons at CCSF, Simpson received a scholarship to the University of Southern California, USC, one of the most prestigious football programs in the country. For Simpson, this was a dream come true. He had long admired USC's football legacy, and the opportunity to play there meant a chance at national stardom. At USC, Simpson's talent flourished on a national stage. He played under legendary coach John McKay, who recognized Simpson's unparalleled speed, vision, and ability to break tackles. During his junior year in 1967, Simpson had an outstanding season, rushing for over 1,500 yards. However, despite his incredible performance, he finished as a runner-up for the Heisman Trophy, an award given to the best college football player in the nation. Determined to come back even stronger, Simpson trained relentlessly for his senior season. In 1968, he delivered one of the greatest seasons in college football history. He led the nation in rushing yards with 1,880 yards and scored 23 touchdowns, setting multiple records along the way. His performances were electrifying, and he became the face of college football. That year, he finally won the Heisman Trophy, an honor that cemented his legacy as one of the greatest college running backs of all time. Beyond his athletic ability, Simpson had a natural charisma that made him a media darling. His combination of athletic dominance, charm, and celebrity appeal made him one of the most famous college athletes in history, paving the way for a professional football career and an eventual transition into acting and broadcasting. In the 1969 AFL and NFL Common Draft, Simpson was selected first overall by the Buffalo Bills. His contract, which made him the highest paid player at the time, marked the beginning of his professional football career. However, his first few years with the Bills were underwhelming, as the team's strategy failed to maximize his potential. The appointment of Lou Stavan as head coach marked the turning point in Simpson's professional career. Under Saban, Simpson became the focal point of the Bills' offensive attack, setting a precedent for his career-defining 1,000-yard rush in 1972. In the historic 1973 season, Simpson broke the NFL record by rushing for more than 2,000 yards. He continued to dominate on the field, leading the league in rushing multiple times and setting numerous records. His playing style was characterized by incredible speed and agility, attributes that were particularly evident during a Thanksgiving game in 1976 when he set a then record of 273 rushing yards. In the later stages of his career, injuries and the overall decline of the Bills hindered his performance. Eventually, he was traded to the San Francisco 49ers, where he played for 2 seasons before retiring in 1979. His final NFL game was a loss against the Atlanta Falcons. Throughout his football career, Simpson was not just a phenomenal athlete, but also a cultural icon. His nickname, Juice, a playful twist on his initials OJ, and a nod to his energetic playstyle, reflected his dynamic presence both on and off the field. Simpson retired as one of the greatest running backs in NFL history and was later inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Before delving into the shocking revelations of his life, let's explore Simpson's career in acting. His foray into entertainment began as an undergraduate at USC, where he experimented with acting in primarily uncredited roles. One of his earliest appearances was in the TV series Medical Center while he was still negotiating a deal with the Buffalo Bills. This opportunity allowed him to pursue acting almost simultaneously with his athletic career, initiating a dual path that would continue for years. Throughout his NFL career, Simpson took on a variety of roles in both television and film. He appeared in notable productions such as the television miniseries Roots in 1977 and films like The Klansman, Capricorn 1, and The Cassandra Crossing. His exposure to seasoned actors such as Lee Marvin and Richard Burton during The Klansman was influential. By the 1980s, Simpson had firmly established himself as an actor, most famously playing Detective Nuremberg in the Naked Gun film series alongside Leslie Nielsen, Priscilla Presley, and George Kennedy. Interestingly, Simpson was even considered for the role of the Terminator in The Terminator 1984, a role that ultimately went to Arnold Schwarzenegger. This anecdote highlights the breadth and promise of Simpson's acting career, which spanned science fiction, action, comedy, and drama. Additionally, Simpson became a recognizable face through commercials, particularly the Hertz ads that began airing in 1975. These commercials significantly boosted his visibility and helped bridge his sports fame with his emerging acting career. Simpson also pursued television production, founding Orenthal Productions, which specialized in producing films made for television, such as the Goldie and the Boxer series. In 1994, Simpson starred in a 2-hour adventure television pilot called Frogman. However, shortly after filming, the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, and Simpson's subsequent incarceration, put an end to the project. Despite interest from NBC and Warner Brothers in airing the pilot to capitalize on public fascination with Simpson, the project was ultimately shelved. His later acting career took a bizarre turn in 2006 when he appeared in the hidden camera prank show Juiced, where he played practical jokes on unsuspecting people. Simpson's role, often portraying a pimp surrounded by naked dancers, starkly contrasted with his previous mainstream media appearances. Simpson sought to reinvent himself as an actor who could portray a range of characters beyond the clean-cut athlete persona. However, amid his personal controversies and the shifting entertainment landscape, this transition was met with mixed reactions. O.J. Simpson's personal life was marked by tumultuous relationships, particularly in his marriages and romantic involvements. His first marriage was to Marguerite L. Whitley in 1967, when he was just 19 years old and attending USC. Their relationship, which had begun as a childhood friendship, blossomed into a romantic bond. Together, they had 3 children: Arnell, born in 1968, Jason, born in 1970, and Aaron, born in 1977. Tragically, in 1979, shortly before her second birthday, Aaron drowned in the family pool. Throughout their marriage, Simpson's commitments to his acting and football careers kept him away from home, placing strain on their relationship. This, along with other challenges, led Marguerite to file for divorce in 1973, though she later withdrew the petition. However, following Aaron's death, their relationship deteriorated, and the couple finalized their divorce in 1979. Post-divorce, financial disputes arose, with Marguerite claiming that Simpson had not fulfilled his financial obligations. This led to legal action, which was eventually resolved when Simpson agreed to pay monthly child support. In 1977, Simpson began dating Nicole Brown while still married to Marguerite. After finalizing his divorce, he and Nicole moved in together, eventually marrying in 1985. The couple had 2 children, Sydney, born in 1985, and Justin, born in 1988. However, their relationship was plagued by domestic violence. Over the years, multiple police reports were filed regarding disturbances at their home, with one of the most serious incidents occurring in 1989 when Nicole called 911, pleading for help. Simpson was arrested and charged with spousal abuse, to which he pleaded no contest. Despite these issues, Simpson and Nicole attempted to reconcile after their divorce in 1992. However, tensions persisted and their relationship remained unstable. The situation reached a tragic climax in 1994 when Nicole and her friend Ron Goldman were found murdered, leading to one of the most infamous trials in American history. After his acquittal in 1995, Simpson entered a relationship with Christy Proddy, who was 19 years old at the time. Their 13-year relationship was fraught with difficulties, with Proddy frequently expressing concerns for her safety. On June 12, 1994, a gruesome discovery was made outside Nicole Brown Simpson's condominium in Brentwood, Los Angeles. Nicole and her friend Ron Goldman were found brutally murdered. This shocking crime set the stage for one of the most widely publicized criminal cases in American history. Given his history of domestic violence, Simpson quickly became a person of interest in the investigation. Authorities compiled significant evidence against him, leading to his formal charge for the murders. Simpson was scheduled to surrender to the police on June 17, 1994, but instead, he fled. This resulted in an infamous low-speed police chase in a white Ford Bronco, driven by his friend Al Cowlings. Broadcast nationwide, an estimated 95 million people watched the slow pursuit, which momentarily overshadowed even the 1994 NBA Finals. The spectacle evoked comparisons to legendary American events such as Paul Revere's ride. Simpson assembled a powerhouse defense team, often referred to as the Dream Team, which included Robert Kardashian, Johnny Cochran, F. Lee Bailey, and Robert Shapiro. On the prosecution side, Marcia Clark and Christopher Darden led the case against him. The trial, which captivated the nation, was compared to historic legal spectacles such as the Lindbergh kidnapping trial. After over a year of court proceedings, the jury delivered its verdict on October 3, 1995. Simpson was found not guilty of both murders. The decision was highly controversial, with stark racial divides in public perception. Many African Americans viewed the verdict as a long overdue victory against a biased justice system, while many white and Latino Americans believed justice had been denied. Disappointed with the outcome, the families of Goldman and Brown pursued civil litigation against Simpson. This civil trial, presided over by Judge Hiroshi Fujisaki, placed stricter limitations on media coverage than the criminal trial. In 1997, a civil jury found Simpson liable for the wrongful deaths of Nicole and Ron and ordered him to pay $33.5 million in damages. Financially, this judgment had significant consequences for Simpson. His assets, including his Heisman Trophy, were auctioned off, and he faced foreclosure on his home. Efforts were made to claim his NFL pension, though they proved unsuccessful. In an attempt to enforce the judgment, the Goldman family later obtained the rights to Simpson's controversial book, If I Did It. The title was later amended to I Did It: Confessions of the Killer, with additional commentary from the Goldman family. In September 2007, O.J. Simpson once again found himself embroiled in legal trouble, this time in connection to an armed robbery in Las Vegas. Simpson and a group of men entered a suite at the Palace Station Hotel Casino, seeking to reclaim sports memorabilia that Simpson claimed had been stolen from him. However, the involvement of firearms led to serious criminal charges. Simpson was arrested and charged with multiple offenses, including criminal conspiracy, kidnapping, assault, and robbery. Some of his co-defendants quickly struck plea deals, agreeing to testify against him in exchange for lighter sentences. His trial, which began in September 2008, was vastly different from his murder trial. This time, an all-white jury found him guilty on all counts. On December 5, 2008, Simpson was sentenced to 33 years in prison, with the possibility of parole after 9 years. During his incarceration at Lovelock Correctional Center, Simpson maintained a relatively low profile. In 2017, after serving the minimum 9-year term, he was granted parole. By December 2021, he was fully released from all parole restrictions, officially closing the chapter on his legal troubles. Simpson's final years were a stark contrast to his once glamorous life. Living in Las Vegas, he led a quiet existence, far removed from the media frenzy that had once followed his every move. His financial situation had declined significantly due to his legal battles and civil penalties. In May 2023, Simpson was diagnosed with cancer. Initially, he approached the illness with determination, undergoing chemotherapy. However, by February 2024, it became public knowledge that he was battling prostate cancer. His health deteriorated rapidly, forcing him to cancel public appearances, including a planned memorabilia signing. In his final days, Simpson was visited by his children, who remained by his side. Despite rumors and speculation about possible confessions or shocking revelations, his family reported that his final requests were simple. He asked for water and expressed a desire to watch a golf tournament. On April 10, 2024, O.J. Simpson passed away at the age of 76. His cremation was scheduled for April 17, 2024, in Las Vegas, the city he had called home in his later years. Even in death, questions about his legacy linger. Scientists expressed interest in studying his brain for signs of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, a neurodegenerative condition linked to repeated head trauma in athletes. However, Simpson's family declined such requests, preferring privacy. His passing marked the end of a life that had seen both extreme highs and devastating lows. While he remains one of the greatest running backs in NFL history, his legal troubles and personal controversies forever overshadow his athletic achievements. O.J. Simpson's story is one of triumph, controversy, and an enduring mystery that still sparks debate. From his record-breaking NFL career to his shocking legal battles, his legacy remains as complex as ever. What are your thoughts on his journey? Do you see him as a fallen hero or a symbol of justice served? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take. If you found this deep dive insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more compelling stories that uncover the truth behind the headlines. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our next big reveal. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned, because there's always more to the story. See you in the next one.